This is a first look at the Panasonic BGH1.
This is a CineD review, supported by B&H and CVP.
Hi guys, I'm Johnny from CineD, and today on my table is the new Panasonic BGH1. But before we continue to talk about the camera, let's keep up the tradition and watch a short documentary that I took with it. If you like coffee, if you like flowers, and you happen to be in Vienna, then this is the video for you. Let's watch.
Coffee has a special meaning for me. It's a way to communicate with people, to build connections to our customers and through our roasting experience and through our coffee. To be honest, my first coffee experience was in Peru, in a coffee shop, and I wanted to have the same coffee taste in Vienna as well. Coffee means we can communicate, starting from the farmer, to the roaster, to the barista, and finally back to the customer who is enjoying the coffee in the end.
I started with the flower business as an idea, and I wanted to bring it to the people with people who have it as well as a passion for flowers. I love to work with my brother. Every day a good spirit, and we have actually a good connection.
We make people happy every day, depending with good coffee or with a nice flower bouquet. I think we like to put smiles into our customers' faces.
We get our flowers from the market. My florist and me, we get up while everyone is still sleeping and pick these beautiful flowers for all our customers. And we always try to have them seasonal.
That's really nice. That's fall. It's very typical for this season actually. It's really nice. I love it. It's the best ever.
Okay, how do you choose the flowers here?
For freshness, so actually I choose them like for colors, whatever looks really good in our bouquets. And then you actually need as well greens to fill the bouquets, so it looks very full and full of life.
Actually, Miraflores is a posh suburb in Lima. There are a lot of flowers there in Miraflores, and translated in the meaning in the Spanish way, actually it's called you see flowers. And that's what I wanted to bring to the people, that you see the flowers and you smell them, you can touch them, and you have like an experience in the shop. The other day, someone came in and said, I need something special for my wife. Something what makes her really special and outstanding. So my favorite flower is the protea. And I said, well, you could get that protea because it's so cute and unique way how you can say I love you, or how you can give your wife very romantic.
So the three most important steps in coffee are time, temperature and pressure. So depending on this, you can do a good filter coffee using gravity as pressure, hot water, 92 degrees, and in 2 to 3 minutes. The best coffee for me is hard to tell, as coffee is subjective and everyone has a different taste. If it comes to coffee itself, I would say it's the person who you're sharing your coffee with, the barista who make your coffee, the beans you choose, and the conversations you have. The best advice for starting a business would be to choose the right team. Think about the team first, and alone it can be hard times. Try to do it together.
Well, after we close our shop, We wanted to give and create a nice neighborhood feeling for families, young people, for everyone who would like to experience something new. So we have different
workshops. We do macrame workshops or yoga, after-work yoga, and organize workshops for baristas to exchange about their experience with coffee. And we try to connect everyone as well after our opening hours.
Actually, it's great to run a business together. It's very adventurous, it's very fun because we have so many ideas. Markus is always like, yeah, this is a good idea, let's just give it a try and a shot. That's what I like about Markus. He's like never, no, we cannot do it, or no, he's like, yeah, we can make it possible.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Markus. It was really wonderful to work with you together. And thank you, Luciano, for editing the video. So, this review is not a complete one. And the reason is very simple. It's really beyond the scope of this review to deal with everything that the camera can do. Because you can really literally take this camera, put it on a drone, you can use it for broadcast, you can use it on as a multiple camera setup, you can use it for documentary as I just demonstrated, and of course you can use it for vlogging if you like to. So let's talk about my experience when shooting the video you just saw. So first thing first, and the Panasonic LUMIX BGH1 is very similar to the Panasonic LUMIX GH5S, meaning the sensor and the processor behind it are very similar. But what is different, because the GH5S can also take photos, Panasonic of course had to tune it accordingly, meaning the camera can shoot photos and videos. But the BGH1 can shoot only video. And as such, Panasonic could really fine-tune the camera to be a proper video camera. So what do we have here? It's a micro four thirds sensor, it's a dual ISO camera, it has a lot of resolutions, frame rates and codecs to choose from. So all in all, it's a very flexible camera, and I'm not going to dive into the technical specifications of the camera because we already covered it in a written article. A lab test will follow soon with dynamic range, rolling shutter and latitude test of the camera. So please stay tuned. This will be also a written article at CineD. So what I would like to talk about is my user experience when filming with the camera. First of all, when you open the box, you will see that there is no viewfinder, no LCD, not even a battery. Those components you will have to gather together and make the camera work for you. So first I wanted to actually work with the camera on the shoulder, but then I thought, yeah, that's kind of defeating the whole purpose of the camera. It's a small box and it's really small. So why should I put it on the shoulder and make it such a big device? So I decided to go back to my drawing board and literally decided to put only the very essential components on the camera, meaning a viewfinder, a single handle and a microphone, and that's it. So I ended up with a small rig. It was okay to run and gun, but at the end of the day, I always needed my two hands on the camera in order to operate it. Somehow, you know, this is a camera that you cannot really operate with one hand. You're always busy with the buttons. I think it would have been much easier if Panasonic will consider in the next generation to have some type of jog dial. Then the whole navigating throughout the menu would be much faster, and maybe it will also help with operating the camera while filming and running and gunning. Other than that, the autofocus performed quite well, and I used two Olympus lenses with this Panasonic camera. Why Olympus? Because Olympus has this wonderful 12mm lens. And why did I choose this Olympus 12mm lens? Because it's very small, it's really compact, and together with the camera it gives a very nice package. And also because the camera doesn't have any IBIS, no stabilized sensor, it was much easier to work on the wider angle when walking or following somebody, so the whole movement looks much more stable. By the way, it was quite easy to stabilize in post if I needed this little extra. So the second lens that I used is the 12 to 100mm, also from Olympus. This is a much heavier lens, it's a stabilized one, It was okay to work with it. When I wanted a longer focal length, I could really use it. But when I wanted to run and gun and just follow somebody, I always went back to the 12mm lens. The low light performance of the camera is really good. Expect similar performance as the GH5S. Now let's talk a little bit, whom is this camera for? I think that rental houses and production houses will be the one to really benefit from such a camera. Because you buy it once, it's less than $2,000 US. You can deploy it in so many shooting scenarios. You can also rent it for so many customers who are doing different things. If you're a single operator, I'm not so sure that this is the camera for you, because you'll have to rig it up, and at the end of the day, maybe there are more suitable solutions or easier ones, yeah? So I'm not so sure that as a single operator, I would choose that specific camera. But if I'm a production company and I know that one day I'm operating a drone, the other day I need to have the camera in a documentary scenario, and then I have to do something like multiple camera and supply few cameras of those, I think that will be a perfect tool. So it's not that we haven't seen box cameras before, but this specific one, it can really tick up a lot of boxes in different shooting scenarios. And it comes with the name of Panasonic behind it. What is also important to remember is that actually that's the first try of Panasonic to make such a box camera. So I can only assume that if the response of the market is good, Panasonic probably can do so many things with this concept. They already have a full-frame L-mount cameras, so actually why not to adopt the concept into a box camera and such. What I'm really missing from that particular camera is an ND filter. This camera is aimed for professionals and broadcasters and production companies. So I think, and I know it's very difficult in such a small box to have a mechanical ND filter, but maybe one day we can come up with a different solution, and yeah, then this camera will be even more appealing for many. Good. Guys, thank you very much. And as I said, this is really a first look. This is on a glimpse, just to give you the sense of how it was for me to work with that camera. I hope you find this video useful. And as always, thank you very much for watching. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.
This is a CineD review, supported by B&H and CVP.